Tom Brady's done with football. He's not going to do dick in society. He may be the exception, bad example. When Danny Werfel and Charlie Ward are done playing football at Florida State, they're not doing shit. My kid and your kid listening, they have a real opportunity to use their scientific analytical brains to change the fucking world that we live in by figuring out a way to get the Palestinians and the Israelis to come to peace, to figure out a way to work around the Constitution for gun control or not, to figure out a way to take stem cell research and apply it to cure paralysis. How many touchdowns does that guy throw? None. How many scholarships do they get? You have to get more than straight A's now. If you're a straight A student and you want to go to Stanford and you're just a white guy, you ain't getting into Stanford.
Well, it plays into what we talked about today, is that you have to be 10 times better. And that's the thing about you, and it ties all the way around to you and everybody else.
By the way, Maddie, take what I just said and save it. I think I just got 6 minutes off next week on the radio show. I'll just play this like it's live. That was a good rant.
That's too bad. That's great. I love that. But that plays.
But I'm passionate about it. I'm so sick of these guys.
But this is the thing. It's like you have to be an A. If you want to do something, you have to be an A. So many times you look on the websites of comedians, actors, actresses, and they send out or they put up clips of themselves that they're a B or a C minus or a C plus.
And you're like, why did you hand that in?
Why is that up there? Why did you hand that in? You, Jay Mohr, are an A. Every piece you do, you're like literally in comedy and podcast and radio. You're like the Denzel Washington of these positions, because when you go to see Denzel in a movie, whether you like the movie, you hate the movie, you don't want to see him, every fucking frame, he's an A. And that's what you do, and that's what every artist, whether you're an actor, an actress, a podcast, whatever you are, if you are an A or an A plus, you're going to have your best shot of winning.
So what are you and I going to put on the internet to take me to that next level? Let's you and I record something on the internet to create those holy shit moments. And we'll tell everybody, I don't know how to put anything up on YouTube.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll call Angie right now and he'll tell us, because he put a picture of my dog walking backwards on the interweb. So you and I right now, we'll come up with something. It'll be 2 minutes long tops.
And we'll find out if America speaks or not.
Well, if we tell them to go, they'll go.
But if we do it right now, doesn't have as good a chance because we haven't prepared like you prepared.
Doesn't matter. We can direct traffic, and then they'll know that we haven't prepared.
But then it's not an A. And then we don't win.
I just want to know the power of the podcast if we can direct people to go in that direction. Let's wrap this all up. You got to create holy shit moments. You have to be undeniable. And the last time you were on the podcast, you were hammering home the undeniable message. And I drove off of my street, and there's a Lutheran church on the corner, and the sign outside the church, and I texted you the photo. All it said, usually it says Psalms 15, pancake breakfast. Don't forget, Father so-and-so is going on his kayak trip. It said undeniable outside the church. Now, incredible. I'm a big fan of faith. I'm a man of Christ. I love God, and I don't think everything happens for a reason, but I do know everything happens. And I will say this, when you and I do an entire podcast, undeniable, and you and I were working out the deals, I was just showing up. You were tirelessly destroying Premier Radio on my radio deal because they wanted to give me a bucket of chicken and a Subway token and tell me I was lucky to be there. And you said, no, you don't understand. This is great. And I got a pretty sweetheart deal because of all the hard work you did. You, my friend, were undeniable.
Oh,
and I will say this.
Thank you.
When I drove off my street that day, the sign across from my street at the Lutheran church was undeniable. And I sent it to you. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
And that let me know everything was going to fall into place radio-wise. Now, the show is so successful. Tim Ferriss sat here, author of the 4-Hour Work Week and the 4-Hour Body, and he said you have to make it so it's way more valuable for you to stick around, and it has to be catastrophic if the company loses you. I think we're at the point now we might want to go in and renegotiate.
It's true, man. You're just...
I thought he was going to say, you don't want to make waves, man.
No, well, you don't want to make waves right now, but that's true. It's like, it's incredible what you've done. I mean, and again, the reason why you've done it is because
when
you're
do we
undeniable.
renegotiate? When does Dennis Leary's agent tell me I shouldn't be doing this for the money? $5 million fucking dollars.
I know we
My God.
I know we run so long, but I just want to say this one thing to you.
You want to know the biggest check? You know it probably. Do you want to know the biggest check I ever received in my life? Now, I've been doing it a lot. I know you know. I'll let you guess. The longest, I've been doing this since I was 16 years old. I'm 42 years old. What, Matty Boy, would you think? Because people always think everybody makes the crazy money, and you do make crazy money. What would you guess was the biggest check I ever made?
6'4", 280 pounds? Oh, no, not Czechoslovakian. You mean money.
In all fairness, I didn't make that check. I didn't make that Czechoslovakian. I set him up to be made, and he fucked up his test. What would you think was the biggest check I ever made?
Made guy. 100K?
No, I'm not going to say it on the show, Katz. Katz raised his hand. I know exactly what it was.
No, I want you to tell them what it was from.
It's from the movie Mafia.
You are wrong.
Oh, it's from Last Comic Standing.
That's right.
After the fact.
From a show that you created and you helped put together from your own pen to the paper. And that's made you the most money. And that's what's made Louis C.K. the most money. That's what's made Whitney Cummings the most money.
Creating their own thing.
Steve Martin creating their own thing. That's what Mafia did not make you the most money. What helped you, what you created made you the most money. And that's the lesson for everybody out there.
You got to create your own thing. You have to create holy shit moments. You have to create a problem. I get a lot of emails on jmoore.com of people telling me, guess what, JJ? And like salesmen tell me that they've created a problem and that your advice worked for them. You and I right now are going to record, because this is a good idea. This is also something that Tim Ferriss would be very proud of. The downside of recording something per podcast is zero. Nothing. You and I will record something and tell everybody where to go to see your face, because we always say how you look like Dirk Nowitzki, and people think you look like Telly Savalas with a cane. So you and I will, Matty Boy will film us talking for a little bit. We'll put it up on YouTube. We'll figure out what the name is, and I will tell you what that name is. And then we are going to do a social experiment. Barry Katz and I are going to track how many views we get from Mohr Stories podcast to translate over to YouTube. If it gets a lot of views and a lot of comments, we will continue to do it. Not just Barry, every guest. I got Margaret Cho coming up. I got David Lee Roth coming up. All right. You goddamn right. I got David Lee Roth coming up. We got big ones, and we will take little pieces of the podcast, little bonus content, and we'll lay it out there for free for now. So you're going to want to jump on this, because this will be the free part. If it gets 6,000 views, then we don't really give a shit. We're not going to film it every time. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
In closing, tell me something. Give me advice. How do I parlay this radio thing? Because I've signed Showbiz. I got Burt Wonderstone coming out, doing the guest spot on Suburgatory. But for the most part, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really care if I ever get my picture taken again. This is a dream job. I get to do my stand-up every Tuesday night at the Hollywood Improv. I get to do, the corporate gigs. I don't need to be in a movie. I don't need to be on a TV show. And for the first time in my life, I actually mean it. How do you go to the next level on a radio show?
Well, actually, it applies to not only radio, but everything. And I'm going to tell you that on that short clip that you guys are going to go to on YouTube.
You're going to stare at me like you're going to fuck me the way you are right now? Holy shit. Did you see his face just now?
So
any young comics out there that want representation, don't waste Barry Katz's time by sending him tapes of yourself with a goddamn B+. But if you can sit on your parents' bed with a guitar and hand in an A+, or if you got a nail salon bit, that's an A+, for crying out loud, send it to Barry Katz. Barry Katz Entertainment Group. Say hi to Sarah for me.
I will. And keep in mind, again, if you want to hear that thing, we're going to play it on this. We're going to do it on this video.
Right. And I will tell you, Angie hasn't texted me yet. I will let you know after I say put your name on it. Right after that, I will tell you the name of the YouTube channel, and you guys can let me know if America cares or not.
Cares of what it takes to make it one thing, a great piece of advice.
This is a social experiment. How many of you will take a journey with us from here to your ear holes to your eye holes? Be a warrior. Barry, let's do it again very soon.
I love this.
I love you.
I love you, buddy.
Any hot new clients we should keep our eye on?
We'll find out if there's some A's out there.
A what?
We'll find out if somebody's an A.
Oh, I was in maize, like how the Indians say corn.
I thought you said AIDS.
Put your name on it. All right. Listen, this is a social experiment. You go to youtube.com/more stories balls. One word. MOHRSTORIESBALLS. I would normally not spell that for you, but your P1s are on an 8th grade reading level, my man. That's how you got chemistry. More stories balls. YouTube. That's because some asshole domain squatted more stories. So, and I don't want to fight to get it back. I want this to happen immediately. More stories ball. YouTube.com/more stories balls. This is a social experiment. We're switching holes. We're going from their ear holes to their eye holes. We want to see if they'll take the journey from oral, AURAL, oral, to visual. And you will, as you said, America will let you know.
America will let us know.
Now, what if this has like 2,000 views? Then we go, then scrap it. This could have been something special, and they blew it for us.
Well, that was the thing about the first podcast we did together, which was shocking. There were like 350 or 400,000 people who listened to it, and you weren't even on social. I don't even know how they found it.
It's because it's new. Whenever it's new, everyone goes, "What's this? What's this?" Anything new.
So this is the first one again. So maybe. We'll see.
This could be a big... We could get a sponsor for this, maybe.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie. So you want to go to youtube.com/more stories balls. Every podcast. Margaret Cho is coming up. Steve Carell is coming up. David Lee Roth is coming up. George Wallace is coming up. Trying to get Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures soon coming up. A lot of good guests. Christopher Titus is coming up. Home and Away. Pete Holmes is coming up. So you want to do this because this is the bonus content, a little video to go with the audio, and it's free. So for crying out loud, go to youtube.com/more stories balls. One word. Make sure all your friends do it too. And, this could be a real successful thing. And I'll tell you this, Katz, I'll tell the listeners, if this works, it's because of you guys. This is something you are in control of. If it doesn't work, it's because of you. And if it works, it's exactly because of you. Now, 250,000 people listen to each show. So there should be apathy you have to factor in. There should be 100,000 hits each time we do this. Would you say it's appropriate?
That's 40%. That's a lot. That's good.
Yeah. So when you go home, use youtube.com/more stories balls, and we'll see how it goes. We will be watching. I love you guys so much for being a part of this, for being warriors. And Barry Katz, you and I should have divorced long ago, but we're like the Lockhorns. We're in it to win it. We're going to be old men like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in life. The upper room.
Well, you're already winning, so.
Final thoughts?
I'm already old. Final thoughts. That's my final thought. I'm just really incredibly proud and incredibly old over you.
All right. So this is More Stories. Go to youtube.com/more stories balls. Until then, my friends, put your name on it.